Hey guys, this is my first official review, I believe. I've given scores of other games before, but this is just a dedicated review to a game. Friday the 13th, the game. I've been playing it for a few weeks now because I got it for free for PlayStation Plus. And even though that's not a super long time, I played it every day, and I played it for hours every day. So I've gotten pretty damn good at it. In the last 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. I think it's been like 3 weeks now, yeah. I'm sure most of you know, because a lot of people play this game, so I'm sure most of you know how it works, but for those who don't, you go into a match with 8 people. 7 of them, and it's random who gets to be Jason. One random person gets to be Jason, and then the other 7 get to be camp counselors. And obviously the objective for Jason is to kill the camp counselors before they escape or survive the night, because there's you have to survive for 20 minutes, the camp counselors. I'll get to that in a second though. The objective for Jason is to kill all the camp counselors. That's it. And he has a few ways of doing this. He has his main weapon. It depends on which Jason you're using from which movie. Either a machete, an axe, a spear, whatever. He can grab you and perform a special kill on you too. But usually I think it only takes like 4 swings of his weapon and you're dead. So he's pretty OP, which he should be since he has to kill 7 people. But anyways, he also starts out with traps and like knives. I think they are that you throw or something. Different Jasons have like the Jason from Part 2 has like 7 traps but only 2 knives, and a Jason from another part might only have like 2 traps to set and have like 6 or 7 knives. You know what I mean? I use Part 2 Jason because I love the traps, the little bear traps. I like to set my bear traps around the cars and around near the boats, because that's how the camp counselors escape. And getting to camp counselors, here's their objective. They have to survive. There's many ways to do this, but all of them are pretty difficult when you're brand new to the game. For cars, there's 2 cars to a map. Sometimes there's 2 cars to a map. Sometimes there's 1 car and 1 boat. The boat can only hold 2 passengers, so only 2 people can escape in a boat. There's 2 cars. 1 car, the blue car, can hold up to 4 people, so 4 people can escape. The yellow car can only hold 2 people, so 2 people can escape. But there's another option. You can also find a fuse, and hook it up into the phone fuse box thingy, and then you have to find the fuse in a random cabin, and then find the cabin that you have to put it into, and then when you fix it inside that house that you fixed the phone fuse box thingy, you can call the police. And when you call the police, you have to wait 5 minutes, and when 5 minutes are up, the police arrive, but they arrive at one of the edges of the map, like of the main road. They'll be on either side of it, and you have to run to them. So you have to make and Jason will know that the police are there. So you have to make sure you run to them. And if you run to the police and Jason doesn't get you, you win. But anyways, back to the cars. To get a car going, you have to find gas, and you have to find a battery, and car keys. So 3 things. And then you can get a car started and going. For the boat, which I personally like better, you only need 2, because all you need is gas and a propeller. That's all you need for the boat. But here's the other thing. When you start one of them, it alerts Jason. Like, Jason can hear it. And since Jason has... I forgot to mention this. He has powers that he gradually gets throughout the match. And one of them is warp to anywhere on the map. So, another one is sense. So when he uses his sensing ability, if a house is red, that means somebody's inside there. But each time he uses one of these abilities, it takes like another 30 seconds for him to be able to use it again. So he can't just keep using them over and over. You know, it takes like 30 or 40 seconds to recharge. But yeah, back to the counselors. Another way to survive is just to wait out the 20 minutes, but that's hard to do because surviving Jason for 20 minutes, that's pretty hard to do. You're much better off going for a boat, car, or the police. And another thing, each character, each camp counselor has different stats. I think the character I use, I think her name is Debbie, whatever. I use her because she has like 9 out of 10 stealth, which is great from hiding from Jason, you know, because like there's a dude, I don't remember his name, he's the black guy, but he has horrible stealth. So when he runs, he appears on Jason's radar, so Jason can find him on the map a lot easier than he can find somebody that has 9 stealth. And there's another reason I use Debbie. She has 10 out of 10 repair. Now, repair is important because when you want to repair a car, you have to do this little mini game. And when you're Deborah, whatever her name is, I can't remember, the girl with the glasses, all you have to do is hit, it goes in a circle, and then when it hits a certain spot, you either have to press L1 or R1. It'll pop up when it gets to that spot. And since she has 10 out of 10 repair, there are only 2 times she has to do it. So it goes in a circle. When it hits the first one, hit either L1 or R1, whichever one tells you to press, and the second one, hit either L1 or R1. Yeah, and then you did it. If you're trying to repair something with somebody with 1 repair, you got to do like 14 of those, and it takes so long. And if you mess up, I think it alerts Jason, so he'll know you're trying to repair something. So that's why I like to use the girl. That she's weak though, and she's slow, and her stamina's not good. But her stealth is amazing, and her repair is the best in the game. And so I've escaped many times now. I used to suck, you know, the first few days. Obviously, anybody would. But now, like just the other day, I escaped 5 or 6 matches in a row. Now, I don't care how good you are at this game. That's pretty rare to do. I escaped 5 or 6 times in a row. That's pretty hard to do, and I didn't die. Here's another thing too. You can find a radio and radio in Tommy Jarvis. Tommy Jarvis is from one of the movies, like I think 4, 5, and 6. He's a reoccurring character. But when 2 or more people die and somebody radios in Tommy Jarvis, one lucky person gets to come back as Tommy Jarvis, and Tommy Jarvis has all his stats are good. And not only that, he has a shotgun, a first aid, and a pocket knife. And I didn't even explain these. First aids heal some of your health if you get hurt. Pocket knives, if Jason grabs you, it automatically uses the pocket knife, and you can get free of them. There are firecrackers, which are okay. They distract Jason, but if he runs right into them, it actually stops him. And then there's a bunch of other weapons like bats and, you know, axes and pots and pans and stuff like that you can, you know, physically attack them with, but that's just to stun them so you can run away. But there's one more thing. There is actually a way to kill Jason, but it is very hard to do. You need in every map, there's a cabin that Jason starts out in. In that cabin is a sweater. Alright, you need to find that sweater as a female character. Only a female character can wear the sweater. After you get the sweater, you need to attack Jason enough to where his mask gets knocked off. You can't do this unless you knock off his mask. Then once you knock off his mask, which, you know, it takes quite a few hits. You have to hit him quite a few times to knock his mask off. And you have a female with the sweater. And another thing you have to do is you have to have somebody die and have Tommy Jarvis come back, because only Tommy Jarvis can perform the kill. So after you knock Jason's mask off and you have a female character with the sweater, and you have Tommy Jarvis back, you have to make sure the female character has a baseball bat, and you have to make sure Tommy Jarvis has a machete. And when with Jason's mask off, you use the sweater, and Jason hears his mom instead of the girl that's wearing the sweater, and like she's pretending to be his mom. She said, "Jason, stop it, honey. Put down the weapon." Blah blah blah. And when she's done saying that, and you can control her again, hit Jason with the bat. He'll drop to his knees, and when he's dropped to his knees, Tommy Jarvis gets a button prompt. I think it's X, and when you press X, he goes in for the kill with the machete. But doing all that in a match with people that you don't know is almost impossible. Like, I've done it before, but I did it with people, that I knew, and with a guy that wasn't hurting us as Jason. But anyways, it's a very, very, very fun game. Very fun game. My only problem with it is, I kind of wish there was more things to do. Like, you play as the camp counselors and you play as Jason, and that's it. Like, I wish there was a few more modes. I think there are, like, challenges you can do as Jason, and I did a couple, but they're kind of boring to me anyways. Like, I don't know. I wish they could have done something different, like have a double, like have a match where there's, instead of 8 players, 1 Jason and 7 camp counselors, there's like 12 camp counselors and 3 Jasons or something, or maybe 2 Jasons and 10 camp counselors or something like that, and 3 cars and a boat, more ways to escape but more Jasons, something like that. And sorry, my phone's wiggling around. I'm just, it's just the intro screen for this. I was gonna play a match while I talk about this, but I figured, I didn't want to do that. But yeah, it's a great game. It's a great game. Each character, like I said, I use the Deborah character because she has amazing stealth and repair, and I like stealth and repair. But Tommy Jarvis is the best. But the only way you can beat him is if you come back as him. So, but anyways, if I had to pick, I would say it's probably more fun playing as the camp counselor because it's more challenging. But on the other end, it's more fun to play as Jason because it doesn't happen as often. You only get a 1 in 8 chances playing as Jason. So it kind of evens out, you know what I mean? Like, because you play as a camp counselor 6 times, and then you're like, Jesus, I'm getting sick of playing. I want to play as Jason finally, and then you finally do, and it's like, yes, I'm Jason. So I would say they're equally fun to play as, and I would say about 70% of the time I kill everybody when I'm Jason, and I'd say about 20 to 30% of the time I escape or survive when I'm a camp counselor. Maybe a little less, because it is hard to do that. But, it's a fun game. And my final score of it, and before I do this, I'm going to explain how I score things. It's on a scale of, 1 to 10. So it could be 1.5, it could be 2.5, could be 9.5, it could be 8 out of 10, something like that. I didn't mean to press X, by the way. Get out of this. My scoring systems aren't like I'm a little more harsh than the average person. Like, let's compare to IGN, who gives every game an 8 out of 10 or above. Like, all right, let me just give you an example. I'm giving this game Friday the 13th. You see it right here. Friday the 13th score 7.5 out of 10. That's an amazing score for me. For some people would see that and say, "What? It should be like a 9 out of 10, man. This game's amazing." But in my eyes, 7.5 is amazing. You can't really see it that well, can you? 7.5 out of 10 is amazing to me. Like, a 7.5 to me is like an 8.5 to IGN. Like I said, my reviews are kind of harsh. Like, I think even 6.5 games are good games. 6 out of 10 games, I think I consider them to be pretty good games. It's when it gets to like 5.5 and below is when I start to say, okay, these games aren't that great anymore. So me giving it a 7.5, it is only really because it gets really repetitive since, you know, like the first few weeks that I've been playing it, it's been great, but it's starting to get repetitive now. It's still fun, you know, and I'm still playing. I'm about to play a match right now, but it is starting to get repetitive since there's nothing else to do other than, you know, survive and escape as a camp counselor or kill everybody as Jason. But yeah, here, I'm about to go into a match right now, actually. Here, let me show you the characters while I'm here. That's the character I use. She has 5 out of 10 composure. Composure is, the higher that is, the less fear you'll get. And if you get too much fear, if you get too scared, you won't be able to see your mini map, and half the screen will go dark. Luck, I have no idea what that does. It says luck increases weapon durability and gives minor increases to many other stats. Sure. I already told you repair. Speed is obvious, just how fast you run. Strength increases attack damage with weapons and reduces the stamina cost of combat actions. I'd much rather have the stealth, though. Reduces the amount of noise generated and Jason's ability to sense. So he won't see me, and I can repair. That's why I escape so much, because it's harder for him to spot me, and I repair stuff so fast and easy, so I escape. My stamina sucks, though. Get out of this. And then, yeah, Jason. You can be different Jasons. This one's my favorite. You see, he has a bunch of different, you know, finishing moves. If he grabs you, he can perform a killing move. One last thing I wanted to show you was, where was it? Damn it, I'm gonna forget. I am definitely gonna forget. Well, anyways, oh, that's what it was. You can buy perks, it's really hard to get a legendary perk of 6. I've only ever gotten one, and I definitely put it on. But you use 500 experience points, you roll, and you get a random perk. Let's see what I got right here. I got a pretty good one. But anyways, that's my review. A 7.5 out of 10, and I'm telling you, for me, that's an amazing score. It's a great game, and I highly recommend it, especially since it's free for PlayStation Plus this month. But even if it wasn't, and you had to pay like $20 or $15 or how much it costs, buy it. If you're into this kind of stuff, like it's amazing. Here, I'll let you watch this intro too. This intro happens before every match, and that's not me. So, alright, I'm going to do this match. I hope you enjoyed the review. 7.5 out of 10. That is a great review for me, because trust me, I am a harsh reviewer. I don't give out very many 10 out of 10s. Only my favorite games of all time get 10 out of 10s. Even 9.5s out of 10s I don't give very much of. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the review, and goodbye, and I love you all.